Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with a Combat Radio. Oh, damn. Yes, yes, yes. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. Well, at least we know that that the sound is good. At least we know that the sound is good. Okay. Hello and welcome. Mr. Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. On this weekly, we have Rick Glaser with us, and the name of the show is Ask Rick. And the man is here with us right now, Industry Insider, and this is your opportunity to get your questions in and ask Rick. We're going head to head today. We're talking about the weekend's activities, and of course, we go head to head because I know Rick, you're a fan of the Gypsy King. Talk to me, Rick.
No, I'm not a fan of the Gypsy King. I'm a fan of good fights, guys that give 100% of themselves. And he's given us some good fights. The Wilder fights were excellent, all three of them. And he's a showman. He's good for boxing. But you can't believe anything the guy says. The guy says before the fight, I trained 12 weeks. There's no way that he trained 3 months for that fight and looked like that. Okay, and if that was true, he had to be eating 100 pounds worth of food a day.
Yeah,
because his body looked terrible. Everything about his body, his back, his lower back, his arms, there was no definition. His stomach, and he there's no way that he trained seriously. He must have ate like a pig, and it showed. I mean, he did not take that fight seriously until he got knocked down in the third round. When he got knocked down, then he took the fight seriously.
Yeah. Well, apparently Sugar Hill was only in his camp for 5 weeks. The last 5 weeks, that's not fully prepared.
No.
That's not fully prepared at all. So what? Talk to me about Ngannou. What do you know about Ngannou, the UFC guy?
Well, his style was good because he kept his hands up real high, and he blocked a lot of punches, and he looked overall very good. I mean, it was only his first professional boxing fight. And the guy looked like an accomplished professional, except he was a little green, and he lost those last rounds on inexperience. He didn't flurry, didn't throw enough punches, but he looked competent. And there's a lot of guys he can beat.
Yeah.
I saw 4 guys in the top ratings of the WBA that he can beat.
Yeah.
So the fight I'd like to see him fight next is him and Martin Bakole. I think that would be a great fight.
Martin Bakole. Did you see his fight against Takam?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Martin Bakole is a good fighter. And makes good fights, and I think that him and Martin McCoy would be a great fight.
Well, the reason I don't think he'll be looking at Martin Bakole right about now, although I like the fight, like you said, a good fighter.
Martin McCoy is not even on the radar. I agree.
Yeah.
But as far as a good fight, that's the water level he's at.
100%. I just took a sip of my water there. So now Ngannou, what's his name? Suleiman has come out and said that Ngannou will be ranked by the WBC. So I get the impression they're talking about top 10 ranking. What do you think about that, Rick?
A little controversial to rate a guy in the top 10 coming off a loss that's never won a professional boxing match. I don't agree with him, But I'm not saying he doesn't have the kid doesn't have the ability. I just think I think you're stretching the criteria too much as the president of the WBC.
Stretching it out just a little bit too much. John Daly says, how is a man who has constantly avoided the undisputed fight good for boxing?
He's not avoided it. The other side admitted this past spring that they avoided it. So that's not true.
Okay. So following on from that, Tyson Fury, previous to the fight, said the fight's going to be in December 21st or 23rd, and if Usyk doesn't show up, I'm going to sue him. I'm going to take him.
Well, right, and now he's not going to do it, but he also has a cut and a black eye, and he can't spar until that cut and black eye goes away. It's not going to give him enough time to get ready for December 23rd. So I don't think that really has any bearing on anything. He's got a legitimate cut. Everybody saw it. Everybody saw a black eye. So, well, what's anybody going to say? Come on.
Well, Fury saying he hasn't got a cut. It's the black eye. The black eye is one thing. The cut, the scrape in the middle of his forehead.
I know that, but the problem is it takes time I don't care what he says. He's got a cut. We all saw it. Okay, forget about whatever Fury says.
Yeah,
he says shit all the time. Come on, please. Nobody talks more shit than him. But reality is he's got a cut. He's got a black eye. You can't spar until that cut's healed properly.
Yeah.
And there's a good chance that December 23rd, if they said, okay, we're going to fight that day, it could get canceled because you'll spar too soon and get cut again. That thing will open up. So it's better off it happens in late February or something like that.
Okay, so no lawsuits. I presume
there won't be any lawsuits. It's all bullshit on both their parts. Please, come on.
Well, it's Fury who said it. Usyk didn't say that. It's just this is one side. This is coming from Fury.
It don't matter. It's all bullshit. No, Fury. No. Usyk said it. Said now I'm going to sue him. He said no. Yeah, it's all bullshit. It's all. Yeah. Please. Yeah. First of all, the organizer decides. He said he's not going to. What's the organizer going to say? You got to fight with a cut and a black eye that's not healed. Then you can't spar enough. No judge is going to go along with that. You saw the condition the guy was in after the fight. His face. Come on.
Yeah. He had a little black eye. He had a little shiner. Okay. So. Is Fury an ATG? An ATG? Is he an ATG? I
would say, everybody has a blimp in the radar.
Yeah.
And this was his blimp in the radar. Everybody has these kind of fights that, even the great ones like Ali had them, Larry Holmes had them.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis had two of them. People have them, but it doesn't make him not an all-time great.
Yeah, that's true. But the difference there, Rick, I put it to you, my friend, since we're going head to head, the difference there is that Lennox lost to good fighters. I mean,
I know that. You're only saying that Ngannou was not a good fighter because he never had a fight before.
Yeah,
we didn't know how good he was. The expectation was so low. He rose to a way above beyond. So he is a good fighter.
He's a good Rick. It's his first fight, my friend.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If a woman sucks a cock, she's a cocksucker. It doesn't matter. It's the first time or the last time.
Rick, please do not disparage those ladies. I love those ladies. Please.
Well, yeah, we all do.
Order in court. Okay. Ladies, please don't stop doing that. Anyway, so I have never heard of an ATG who's lost. Didn't lose it, but he didn't lose it, but
It was a close.
Who's my
I
judge?
scored at 95-94 for Fury. I scored at 6 rounds to 4. And
Yeah,
then you minus to take the 2-point round, which was 1 point because they already lost the round on
yeah,
the four on one of the fours. So it was 95-94. But
yeah.
it was a it was a close fight. There's no question about it.
Rick, is it possible, since you had it 95-94, is it possible that it could have been judged the other way around? So 90,
Well, it was by one of the judges.
right,
Yeah, but
right,
all the guys in the business that regularly score fights, Graham Houston, Don Majeski, Brad Goodman, all the guys that normally score fights, everybody had the same way, 95-94 for Fury. There was no question in anybody's mind. I must have talked to a dozen guys. Everybody had the same score. It was a funny thing about the fight.
mm,
Each round was won with clear vision at the end of the round. You didn't have to think about it twice. It wasn't like it was like you had. I was like, hold on. Let me
yeah,
think about what happened at the beginning of the round. People won the round, or the one fighter won the round or lost the round. It wasn't like you were thinking twice. And obviously, the third round was a big difference because of the knockdown. That was an easy round to score.
yeah,
But they were all pretty dominant rounds. I don't mean like a guy who was laying the ropes taking punishment, but one guy, Fury knew how to win those last couple rounds that he needed to win on the scorecards to get the decision. He was herking and jiving and jabbing, moving his feet. Well, the
yeah.
other guy just stood around with a high guard and didn't throw any punches. I
Mm,
was a little shocked at that. Didn't throw much in the ninth
mm,
and 10th round.
okay, so I'm gonna retort. I'm gonna come back on that, Rick, with my point. When we look at when we look at the scoring, as you know, I know you know. I'm just talking to the greater
Right.
public listening. As you know, when we talk about winning a fight, how to score points in a boxing match, there are a number of
Right.
criteria, and one, we have effective aggression. Now, I put it to you, Rick. I'm going to go through the list and you can come back at me, but I put it to you that the guy displaying the most effective aggression was Ngannou. And the reason
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
Definitely. But he wasn't landing, he didn't land that many punches off that effective aggressiveness. And
but then
it just
carry on.
it's just what the facts are. I mean, it wasn't like he was playing like Ibushi in there where he was landing at will. I mean, he landed the occasional punch, and he didn't land shit in the 8th and 9th rounds. And that the 9th and the 10th rounds, and that cost him the fight.
Okay, so effective aggression. I say that he had the effective aggression. Being aggressive gives the impression of dominance, but unless the boxer is landing shots and not constantly getting countered, it isn't really effective. Judges look for effective aggression where the aggressor consistently lands punches and avoids
Correct.
those from his opponent. Okay, so that's the definition of effective aggressiveness. I say that Tyson Fury was the one skirting around the ring. He was the one dancing around the ring. He was the Mary Poppins.
Yeah, but you got to remember that's how he fights.
That's how he
That's
fights,
a,
and
that's
it's
a
avoiding
style,
the action. It's avoiding the action, Rick. He's
right?
avoiding the
Well,
action.
that's
Tyson Fury
defense.
was scared, Rick.
He was
Tyson
he did
Fury
he
was
did
scared.
look at his fights. He didn't fight this guy any differently than he fought in any other fights.
So that means he
Look at
fights scared, Rick. He fights scared. I saw fear in the man's
that's not
eyes.
fight. That's not well. Every fighter when you get knocked down, they see fear. But it's called fear of losing. Okay, but you got to remember something. Styles make fights. Everybody fights differently. This guy comes forward. Okay, Fury moves around and flips the jab out and herks and jive. That's how he fights. So you can't hold a guy against. In other words, he didn't change his style and say, all of a sudden, this is what I'm going to do. This guy's hurting me or I'm scared. This is the way he always fights. That's how he fights.
That's true. That's true. But Rick, if you say that you say this is the way he always fights, but if I say, hey, there's this guy down the road, and at the end of a date, after he's found a girl on social media, on the computer, at the end of the date, he always likes to strangle the girl. That's what he always does. Well, that don't mean it's okay. That don't mean it's okay.
Yeah.
No,
but you're what I'm saying to you is that he didn't do anything differently in this fight that he has in other fights. Matter of fact, if you go back to the three Fury Wilder fights, he was knocked down 4 times in those fights total. Twice in the first one and twice in the third one.
Yeah,
that's him. But he has great recuperative powers. He gets up and fights back.
Rick, let's talk about recuperative powers, Rick. How many times is Tyson Fury going to get dropped by them side of the head shot? Is that a weakness, Rick? Is that a weakness around a year?
Well, I don't know, because when he got hit by a Wilder, he got hit right on the chin a couple times. Some of the times they were by the ear, and he went down 4 times in 3 fights. I just think he's just one of those kind of guys that sometimes some fighters don't get woken up till they get hit. And, oh my God, I'm in a serious fight. I think he was going through the motions the other day and, just not giving 1,000% of himself and got caught. But, he's just one of those kind of guys that has good recuperative powers. He gets up, he fights back. And, a lot of fighters, like I said, some fighters, the fear of losing gets them scared. Like, I never lost before him. That kind of mentality. So it's just, he's just such a complex person. You don't know, you can't believe anything comes out of his mouth.
Yeah.
Okay. The only thing you can believe is the fork. And once the food gets dropped in the mouth, you can believe the fork's empty. You can't believe anything the guy says. He didn't train for 12 weeks. We know that. He had said that before. I trained for 12. He didn't do shit. And the fact Sugar Hill was over there for 5 weeks, I'm sure, except for Joseph Parker, they didn't have anybody in camp that was worth a shit, because they didn't want to pay anybody. They thought it was an easy, big score, and they didn't want to pay anybody. I can only imagine what went on. You know what I mean? You could see his body had no definition. His back, his arm, his back and his lower back had fat. His arms, shoulders, no definition. His shoulders and arms. His stomach was fat.
He's always
he looked
fat.
like
He's been fat for years.
He was way fatter than he normally is. I mean, he was. Forget about what he weighed or didn't weigh. It's turning that muscle, that fat in the muscle, and getting the fat off of you. And he didn't do either. It was just laying there like a big blob. And like I said, even in the first and second round, he didn't take it seriously. He didn't take it seriously until he was knocked out in the third round. Then he said, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then he got up and fought back, and and eventually got a decision. But did he look like, 2 pounds of shit, 10 pounds of shit in a 2-pound bag? Yeah. He looked terrible. It was embarrassing. I mean, if I was handling him, I would have been totally embarrassed.
Rick, there's some people out there saying that Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight ever.
Nah. He's not the best heavyweight. He's a top 10 guy for sure. I think he would have beat both Klitschko's. He beat the one. He would have beaten both Klitschko's. He would have beaten Joe Frazier. He was too short, and he was stumped armed. I don't think he would have beaten Lennox Lewis or Larry Holmes, or Ali. I don't think he would have. No, but he would beat those other guys. They were too short. He would have beat. Foreman might have knocked him stiff, because if Foreman
would have knocked him the fuck out.
Right. If Foreman would have hit him like those other guys hit him, I don't think the recuperative powers would have been working too well. So That just, that's my opinion. But Joe Frazier would have been too short. He would have hit Norton on the chin somewhere along the line.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, and those guys, they would have both beaten them. And Ali would have probably beaten them. But definitely Holmes and Lennox Lewis.
Lennox Lewis, absolutely.
Lennox Lewis hit him with a right hand. That motherfucker ain't ever getting up.
You ain't never getting up. Come on now. I found it very disrespectful to my American friend who had the audacity to say that Fury. This was before this fight. Now I think he may have changed his tune a little bit, but this was before the fight. But thankfully, I think he's calmed down. I think Ngannou has helped him to calm the F down. Keep the questions coming.
I didn't need Ngannou to tell me that Lennox Lewis would have probably beaten Tyson Fury. Just the fact that he went down 4 times with in 3 fights with Wilder would have told me that Lennox would have clipped him and finished him.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Keep the questions coming, folks. We only got Rick. We're doing a fast one tonight. Rick, what time are you here till? What time have you got to sign off?
I'd like to be out of here in 20 more minutes because it'll give me 15 minutes to get ready and get out of here.
Okay, so let me just calculate that then. 20 minutes. Okay, so 15:15 the hour. All right. So we'll try and wrap it up before then. Keep the questions coming. We'll do a fast fire round at the end of the show around 5-10 minutes to go. So keep them coming in. We got the John Daly, we got the Wizard Sleeves, we got the DJ Georgie Porgy. Who else we got up in here? Yeah, a few more people. Oh, of course, the Bruce Gas Boxing Jazz and more.
Listen. I'll tell you a quick one. I was at a boxing. I was at Michael Moore, Holyfield fight number 1, April 1994. I was at Caesar's Palace. I'm at the lobby bar, and this hooker comes up and asks me if I was interested. I says no. I says I don't do those kind of things, but thank you. So in the meantime, she gives me a business card just in case you change your mind. You know what the business card said on it besides your name and her phone number?
Yeah.
Improving sex life daily.
Oh. OMG, the things that go down in these hotels. OMG, enough to make your hair curl. Okay, so what's this talk? So my view is, because you're going head to head, my view is that unlike you, Rick, a lot of the rounds were close, very close. My position is that Ngannou parried, deflected a lot of those shots that were attributed to Tyson Fury. It is my view that Ngannou dominated the positioning in the ring. He was the one. He wasn't even walking forward. He was the one.
Right, but understand one thing. You said dominating the position. The other guy's a boxer and moves his feet.
Yeah.
That clockwise and counterclockwise. So you're not. You're looking at like the one guy was walking forward is the aggressor. The other guy always fights like that. Yeah. That's why I don't think that argument flies in Ngannou's favor, because it's not like he made Fury do something differently. Fury wasn't running around at the ring at a high rate of speed, or like just fighting to get out of the way. This is the way he always fights. It wasn't Ngannou forcing it. That's how he fights.
Right.
You can't. I mean, listen. Tyson Fury is not a good-looking guy, but he wasn't a good-looking guy 3 fights ago either. But that's the way he fought.
Yeah.
So when I say good look, I don't mean facially. I mean the way his body and he just doesn't look like a fighter. Right. He looks like the Lomax next door. Yeah. Ngannou looks like a fighter. Lennox Lewis looked like a fighter. Yeah. Tommy Morrison looked like a fighter. No, definitely. He looked like a fighder. Definitely. Okay, and certain people look like a fighter. This guy, Ray Mercer looked like a fighter. Yeah. This guy doesn't look like. You know what this guy looks like? This guy looks like the guy. This guy looks like the guy that, you know, he finished up school, high
Yeah.
school, just because he had to, and then he didn't do anything for the next 6-7 years of his life, and
Damn.
tried to find himself. He just doesn't look like that kind of guy that would be a fighter.
For
Let's
real.
face it.
Yeah, for real,
You
for
know?
real, for real. Yeah. The fighter who controls the action and enforces their will and style. You see, Rick, the long and the short of it, and then that's ring generalship. Then defense.
Yeah, no, but I'm not disagreeing with you.
Right.
But you're taking a guy that only knew how to walk forward, and you're talking about another guy who only boxes, and it's not like Ngannou was making him do this. This is how one guy fights, which is, I'm talking about the Fury.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't the guy forcing it on him.
Mm.
That's what people are. That's what I don't. I mean, you are understanding. You're just being argumentative, but the truth is that that's the way the guy fights. I mean, like Wolford Benitez, he fought a certain way. That he moved around and flipped the jab out. Certain guys fight a certain way, and that's Howard Davis Jr. They're more boxers, and as heavyweights, we don't like to see that. We like to see guys walk forward and rumble, but it wasn't like Ngannou's style was forcing that on Fury. That's how Fury fights. That's all there is to it.
Well,
you know.
Yeah, that's
we got 15. We got 15 more minutes. Come on, let's move on to another subject.
Okay, let's wrap up this subject and we get into the other stuff. But I want to talk about defense. How well is a boxer slipping, parrying, blocking punches? Good defense is important. Okay, that's fair enough. Hard and clean punches. To the untrained eye, it can appear as if a boxer is landing a lot of shots when in fact most are being blocked or aren't landing flush. A judge needs to look for hand shots that land clean. And to me, Rick, the cleanest shots were coming from Ngannou.
Well, he didn't land as many of them either. So
he landed more power shots. He landed more power shots.
Right. But the other guy's a big jabber, and the other guy don't jab at all. You know, it's just what you like in styles.
It's what you like in styles. What I'm trying to get from you, Rick, is that fight could have gone either way, my friend. Either way, it could have been judged.
Oh, wait, well, hold on. I'm not disagreeing with that. It was a close fight. Right. But people were yelling robbery. There's no robbery. It was a close fight. It was a split decision, and it was well judged.
It was a close fight. Could have gone either way. Could have gone either way. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We can agree on that. Okay, since we've come to an agreement, folks, there can be peace. There can be peace. We've worked it out. OMG. Okay, so with that said, that was the head-to-head, folks. Now we get into the questions from you guys. Okay, so what's the first one? Okay, we've done that one. Let's go to Bruce Gass. Okay, are crossover fights the future of combat sports?
I hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, but we've seen success here, so it's almost inevitable.
I know that, but wait, we've had 25 crossover fights in all weight classes. I think 24 was the number the other day somebody gave me. So let's just say this is the first one that's been really good and competitive. Come on. It was a freak of nature. One guy just didn't prepare, and one guy fought a lot better than people thought he did. You know, it's not the wave of the future.
Okay, that was one from them. How about one from me? Would Tyson Fury have been beat by Anthony Joshua on Saturday?
But the difference is he would have prepared for Anthony Joshua. So that's the difference. He would have been ready for Anthony Joshua. He wasn't ready for this guy because he thought this guy was a fucking hobo, and the guy far exceeded expectations. So would the Tyson Fury that actually showed up the other night, Joshua would have beat, yes, but that Tyson Fury wouldn't have shown up if he was really fighting Anthony Joshua.
For real, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. So does Anthony Joshua knock out Tyson Fury when they meet? Because it looks to me that Tyson Fury is on the decline. He's on the 11th hole.
Because Tyson Fury will be up for the fight. It's an arch rival and stuff. And he'll train hard and stuff like that. He might have to get off the canvas one time, but he'll win.
Okay, is Tyson Fury on the decline? Rick Glaser.
No, he just didn't train. No.
He's 35 years old. He's got to decline sometime. Is Tyson Fury on the decline?
It doesn't mean he declined the other night. He just didn't train. That's all there was to it.
Okay, so Tyson Fury's had 3 tough fights. Well, not really 3 tough fights. He had 2 tough fights with Deontay Wilder. He had 2 tough fights.
Yeah, and they were 2 years ago, and he had 2 fights between then and this fight, and he looked good in those fights. So
come on, Rick. He was fighting Derek Chisora, man. Come on, Derek Chisora.
No, he fought what's his name too. He fought what's his name too.
Dillian White, yeah.
Dillian White, yeah. I mean, he looked great against Dillian White. So I don't think he's on a decline. Not because of what we saw the other night. No.
Okay.
He just didn't train. He didn't eat right.
So you don't think after 15 years of boxing, it's possible that Tyson Fury is on the decline?
It's possible, but I don't see that. I think he will be on the decline in the next 2 fights, but I don't think that's what we saw the other night.
Don't you think his mobility is increasingly impaired?
If you don't train and you're fat and you're not converting fat into muscle, you're gonna look like that. You don't train right, yeah, that's how you're gonna look. But if you train right, you listen. The difference between besides endurance, the difference between training and not training, and eating and not eating the right food compared to eating the right food is a split second. That split second is the difference between winning and losing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so let's get into the questions from the people that be kind enough to show up. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit the share button. We got Rick for another about 7 minutes, 5-6 minutes. Okay, so let's get into it. When did Krasuk concede that they pulled out of the fight earlier? We've covered that. We've covered that. How many novices? Yeah, we've done that. Fury gets, what's this? Fury gets far too much credit for beating a nobody, a twerker. Does Fury get too much credit for beating a twerker, a cherry-picking twerker?
I don't think so, because he had to get up. He had to get up off the canvas 4 times from bombs. So no, I don't think he does. No.
Okay. So talk to me. We're going to be switching back and forth from the questions. It's fast fire round. We're going to be talking some. We're going to take a question, then we're going to talk about a fight real quick that happened on the weekend. Your favorite fight of the weekend, Rick Glaser. Talk to me.
Oh, it was Oshaki Foster and Hernandez, Rocky Hernandez. He come back to stop him, and he was woefully behind on the scorecards by the judging, and he came back to stop him in the last round. That would be a no-brainer. That was by far the best fight of the weekend.
Yes. I didn't watch it, but I heard about it. Heard he was very good indeed. What's that cat's name? Oh Lord. What's that 18-year-old cat who's heavyweight cat knocking everybody out? What's that cat's name?
Moses, whatever.
Yeah, the Moses. Call him Moses. He knocked that cat out in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a great prospect to me.
He does.
I didn't see the fight the other night, but I've seen a little film on the guy, and he looks like a really, really, really good prospect to me.
He really does, and considering he's only 18, I really do like. Right. I really do like his fluidity. The kid's only 18.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with the kid. The kid looks like he's got the goods. It's a long way to the heavyweight championship of the world.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even have his man strength yet. But when he does get it, he's going to be a strong guy, and he's going to be very, very tough to beat.
I do agree. So that's one. Let's deal with the card. So Takam versus Martin Bakole. We talked about
Bakole. I like Bakole as a fighter. He's a good fighter.
Yeah.
And he's a one-loss fighter. He lost to Michael Hunter a bunch of years ago now.
Yeah.
What do I think? I think Piccoli should get a shot at a big fight, hopefully.
Yeah.
And I think that the Khan needs to hang it up at age 41 or 42, whatever the fuck he is. He's done.
He's done. Hang him up. Hang him up. Hang him up.
Yep.
Hang him up.
Hang him up.
Hang him up.
Game over. Game over.
Yeah. Game over. Game over. Okay. Woodley? Who the hell's Woodley? Not Tyron Woodley. Wardley versus Adelaide. Wardley gets the 7th round.
Wardley is going to be a good attraction over in the UK, but I don't think he's ever going to be a world heavyweight champ or anything like that. But he's going to be a good fighter and a big ticket seller, and he'll be in big fights.
He'll be in big fights for sure.
Yep.
Let's what was this cat's? Oh yeah, Parker versus Keane. Parker KO's Keane.
Listen.
Yeah.
I'm only 5'8.5", and I'm 65 years old. But if I was in my prime and I was 6 foot tall, I'd beat the shit out of that fucking Simon Keane. What a fucking joke he is. He can't fight a fucking lick.
Who are we talking about?
He's embarrassing. He's so pathetic.
Keane. We talking about
Keane.
Keane. Yeah. For real. All right,
No, Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's a good, competent professional.
Yeah.
He wins some, loses some, but he's a real pro. Yeah. And but the other guy, he's a fucking joke. Oh my God, he's so pathetic.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God,
he's terrible.
What's amazing is people encourage this guy to fight over the years. Oh, you're good. You should be a boxer. You're doing real good. I mean, somebody should just take a look at what the fuck are you looking at? Guy's pathetic.
Yeah, it's Keane should hang him up. Oh my gosh, Keane should hang him up. But let's get a couple more questions that's not related to Tyson Fury because we've done that. Let me scroll down.
You got 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do it in 3. I'm trying to let you go in 3. Leighton Evelyn's up in the building. Get well, Rick.
Thank you.
Yeah, get well, Rick. Let's have a look.
Getting better every day, little by little. Concussions are a tough thing to overcome.
Yeah, that's what we want. We want you well. We want you well as possible. Okay, this is a good question. This is a big boys boxing. Rick, should Francis have a legit top 15 ranking?
I would say he needs to beat somebody before he does. You can't rank a guy off a loss that
But can you not rank a guy off a loss because this guy gave Fury the best fight in 10 years. Than what?
Yeah, but I think he needs to go out and establish himself with at least one win, and then come back and then get rated. You know what I mean? Some viable guy in the top 15 beaten. Then go rank him. I don't agree with Mauricio Suleiman's thing. No.
Fair play, Rick. I know you was generous saying 15 is 12 past now, but I know what you got to do. You got to have it. You're going out with the boys. And Rick, we are appreciative of you consistently.
I'll see you Monday. We'll be back at our regular schedule on Monday. Okay.
Monday regular schedule. Rick, have a margarita for me.
Thank you. You have a wonderful night. Enjoy. I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye now.
Thank you. And that was the Rick Glaser. Very kind of him to come on in. What are we going to do? We're going to do this slightly differently because this was a quick one. So I'm going to drop the link just in case anybody's got anything they want to add. But I think we had a nice head-to-head there, slightly earlier than usual because the clocks in the UK have gone back 1 hour. So it would normally be now 10:17 p.m. 10:17? No, watch is a bit faster. 10:13 p.m. But the clocks have gone back 1 hour in the UK. So it is now 9:14. So when I send Rick the normal link for the normal time, it means now that 4 p.m. over there is now 8 p.m. over here. 8, yeah, like 8 p.m. over here. So it don't really work. So I pushed it back half an hour. So we started at 9. Well, no, we started at 8:30. But if I didn't push it back half an hour, we'd have started at 8. I don't know if that would be convenient for most people. Maybe not. I don't know. So we compromised. Well, I compromised and said, well, let's go 8:30 UK time. Clocks have gone back. The clocks have gone back. What am I looking at? What am I trying to do? What do we want to do? Okay, so that's pinned. Let's have a look. I hope you enjoyed the head-to-head. Smash that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button. What are we saying here? What has Fury done? What has Fury done to prove his ATG? Well, he fought Klitschko, but then didn't give him a rematch. He beat Deontay Wilder 2 times. Beat Deontay Wilder 2 times. But then Deontay Wilder was a WBC champion. Yeah, but he was a cherry-picking champion. So how does that get you into ATG? I really don't think so. How many novices have challenged for world titles? Well, he wasn't really challenging for the world title because they wouldn't let him have it. I don't think he could have won the world title. The title was not on the line. I don't think the title was on the line. Let's have a look. Fury gets far too much credit for beating a beat nobody twerker. Well, cherry picking twerker. Yep, a lot of shots that Fury threw were deflected. I watched the fight back again. And all I did really is I switched round 5 to round 6. I wasn't sure about round 5, but I watched it back. I gave it to Ngannou. I watched it back, and I gave it back to Fury. That was round 5. But then round 6, which I gave to Fury, I watched that back, and I said, no, Ngannou won that. Let's have a look. Yeah, I said that at the time. A lot of those shots from Fury were deflected. The punch stats are very even when you actually look at the fight. And I looked at round 10. I watched the whole fight again. It was on big screen, big TV, the way I always watch it. Big screen, HD TV, higher definition. And even in round 10, Ngannou peppered Fury in the first minute. Peppered him in the first minute. He had more combos in round 10. Ngannou, go watch it again. Ngannou had more combos in round 10. Fury landed a few stiff shots in that round, but I gave that a draw. And everybody's saying that Fury won round 10. Watch it again. Tell me you won round 10. Ngannou did more than I realized in round 10. Landed combos. Know what I mean? Combos. And in comes the man like the John D. Lee.
Good evening, Raf.
How you doing, John? How's it going?
Oh, I'm all right.
Yeah.
I thought you were a bit kind to our friend from Top Rank, but anyway.
Well, no, well, things are nice. I think we had a nice.
You can't be rude to someone when they come to your house, especially if you invited them.
That's to say, so long as they take their shoes off and their socks don't stink, I'm going to be a hospitable host. You know what I'm saying? As long as they take their shoes off and their socks don't stink.
But that was damage control at its finest, because since Sunday, I've watched the Derek Chisora fight and I've watched the Dillian White fight,
Right.
Fury would look just as out of shape in both of those fights. His movement was poor. He unloaded a lot on Derek, which was interesting because he couldn't put Derek down. And Fury was talking about all of his power, that nobody can stand up to his power. But Derek stood up to your power, and Derek's been smoothed clean out. So you'd knocked out Dillian White, who'd been knocked out twice before and floored numerous times. And Wilder hasn't been put in with punches for a reason. And I don't know anybody that has got Sonny Liston as an all-time great, but he beat the same champion twice. Pretty much all he did at World Championship level.
Floyd, who's that? Floyd Patterson?
Yep.
Yeah.
In more devastating fashion than Fury beat Wilder.
Yeah.
I mean,
but then Floyd Patterson wasn't a 5-year reigning champ, was he?
He was in for quite a while.
Was he?
Yeah, because he won the tournament after Rocky Marciano died.
Oh.
He swapped it back and forth with Ingemar Johansson.
Oh yeah, this is the Swede.
Yeah. So he was a 2-time champion.
Yeah.
He lost it, won it back.
Yeah.
And he reigns from about 56 to 62 or something.
Wow. Okay. I didn't
realize. It's quite a long time. I mean, in all truth, throughout that period, really, Sonny Liston should have been champion.
Right.
While the tournament was going on for the title after Rocky Marciano died, Liston got arrested on very spurious charges.
Oh yeah.
And it was supposed to be an even number in the tournament. I think it was 8. It was supposed to be, and it ended up being 7. It was either 6. It was supposed to be 6 and ended up being 5, or it was supposed to be 8 and ended up being 7. And he was in prison at the time. Some people think it would be too early for him, but when you look at the people in the competition, I think he would have won it. And then after that, he beat all the top 10, and he was horribly avoided while Patterson was fighting Ingemar Johansson about 4 times or something.
Okay. So what was the point we were talking about?
The point is, Fury hasn't done enough to be an ATG.
No, he hasn't. No way, no how. How the hell has he done enough to be an ATG? Let's do a poll.
Yeah,
how the hell has he done enough to be an ATG? That's no way. There's no way. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. Just to show, and you can put some money in the chat as well, by the way. People seem to forget you can put some money in the chat. You know, you're getting a beautiful service over here. At the RDCR, you are getting a beautiful service, even if I say so myself. It's a beautiful service. Let's start the poll. You were saying, John, or were you?
Yeah. No, the other thing that I really think's got to be seriously looked at is we're always given these reasons why Fury didn't perform, but he consistently doesn't perform.
Yeah.
Okay, he beat Vlad, but if you go back and you watch the fight before that when he fought Bryant Jennings, Vlad was suffering severe levels of complacency.
Severe.
Bryant Jennings was content to go the distance with Vlad, and Vlad was content to just give everybody a boring fight.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons HBO got rid of him, because he just wasn't performing.
It's horrible.
Fury really got inside his head with mind games rather than actually beat him in the ring.
Yeah.
Because as soon as Vlad realised that all this feinting, there was no real power behind it, Vlad won the last 2 rounds, didn't he? Once he actually started to actually let his hands go, he found Fury, he could hit Fury, he could touch him. Fury isn't this elusive wizard that can't be touched, because he's been dropped by Nevin Pajkic, Steve Cunningham, Deontay Wilder numerous times, and now Francis Ngannou. So he can clearly be hit and touched. So, you know, his defensive abilities is clearly not as good as everybody likes to tell us they are.
Well, I mean, he got. I watched that fight back. Beyond you, see, I watched that fight back, and so you go back on Saturday the 5th over there. Okay, so it'll even out. So it'll even out Saturday the 5th. It'll even out. We're talking about times. We're talking about the times, the clocks, the times, the sign of the times. Yeah, I mean, I watched the fight back on big TV, big ass HD TV. I watched it back. That's how I watch the fights, on big ass HD, big ass screen. So it's not on some little fuzzy screen. You know what I'm saying? So I can't see what I'm seeing. I watch it on a big ass HD TV, and I watched it back last night randomly. I just put the whatever on, tweak the aerial a bit, and the fight came up. I didn't expect it to be on. Came up. Okay, I'll watch it again. It was the 3rd round, so I started from there. And Ngannou was pressing the action, even though it wasn't moving forward. He was moving forward. He was pressing the action. Once he got to the position he wanted to be, he'd keep that position. Tyson Fury would jink around a little bit. Ngannou would hold his position, then make his move, make his counter. Ngannou was timing Tyson Fury splendidly. Watch that fight back. He was timing him splendidly. He was waiting. He was like a cobra. He was like a cobra, or just waiting for the cobra movement. He was like a snake. He was like a snake charmer, waiting for the move of the cobra and then reacting. Ngannou did really, really well in there. Deflected a lot of blows, and I think the punch stats they were very comparable. Threw more punches than Tyson Fury. A lot of people don't seem to realize that, but check the stats. Ngannou threw more punches than Fury. Fury allegedly landed marginally more, but when you look at the tape, a lot of those shots were deflected. A lot of them were deflected. And as Rick conceded or admitted, that fight could have gone either way. Rick's only issue was that he objected to it being called a robbery, and that's fair enough, because it could have gone either way. He objected to that. But personally, when I did my reviews, totting up, my final score was 94, or rather 96, 94 to Ngannou. And furthermore, don't forget that when Fury dropped to his knees in the 7th round, he was actually clipped in that little exchange when he was dropping. So was that a knockdown? I say there's a strong argument to say that Tyson on his knees in the 7th round was a knockdown. I say there's an argument for it.
Well, for me, I thought Ngannou was reading Tyson really nicely, which is why he was able to parry so many of his jabs.
Yeah.
If you're going to say that Fury has outlanded Ngannou, I find that a difficult claim, but if he did, he's not outlanded him with power shots, has he? So are we saying that a jab is worth the same as a power shot?
Is the jab comparable in value to a power shot is the question. I say, well, I mean, anybody who says yes, I don't know what to say. I think the answer should be obvious. Is a jab worth a power shot? The same? Is a jab the equivalent in value to a power shot?
Because that was kind of Rick's fallback position. He's a jabber.
We're not talking about Rick now. We're not talking about Rick now.
Just in general, because he's not the only person to use this argument.
Yeah, we're just talking. Yeah.
In that Tyson's a jabber and a mover. So if Tyson's gonna throw loads of ineffectual jabs, well, he didn't even throw loads. If Tyson's gonna land ineffectual jabs, and you're going to say he won the round based on just doing that, and Ngannou throws power shots and lands those in the same round, how has Fury definitively won that round? At best, it's a swing round where not a lot happened, which I thought there were a few. I like Francis. Francis has made me a fan on the back of this fight.
Yeah.
But I don't think he did that well.
I think he did well in so much that he performed more competently than almost anyone in Tyson Fury's career since when? Since his first fight with Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder, the first fight, fought well against Tyson Fury.
But is that not
was the first fight.
testimony to the fact that Tyson Fury has avoided stiff opposition consistently? I mean, if we go through it,
they're both cherry pickers. They're both cherry pickers.
He's ducked David Price. He's ducked Pulev. He pulled out the Ustinov fight. He ducked the rematch with Vlad. He has avoided Anthony Joshua and Usyk. If he had all of those names on his record,
we
might actually be talking about him being an ATG.
Yeah, we could talk about him being
because particularly like when he avoided Pulev for the European title, that's when Pulev was a reasonably young man.
Yeah,
that would have looked like a better scalp on his resume than when Joshua beat Pulev.
Yeah,
he'd have Usyk on his resume. He'd have Anthony Joshua on his resume.
Yeah,
Ustinov's a bit here nor there. David Price. It would have been a good battle.
Yeah,
if you think about Price versus Fury, it would have been pretty much the same as Joshua versus Dillian. It was for the same title.
Yeah,
there were two big names in British boxing. There would have been a lot of excitement about that fight, and if he'd have won it, again, you'd be talking about a much more rounded resume. But every time it's a little bit difficult, he avoids it. I mean, why was he in the ring having this fight after not fighting the boxer all year? What was the reasoning behind it?
This was a cherry pick. Like, no doubt about it. It was a cherry pick gone wrong. I was the one who coined that phrase about 4, 5, 6 years ago over at TBV. Well, whenever that fight took place, where is it? Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. 2018. December the 1st, 2018. I coined that phrase. I was the first person that I heard to ever hear a cherry pick gone wrong in boxing circles or anywhere, to be honest with you. Cherry pick gone wrong. Common parlance now. I should have patented it. So yeah, listen. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, both cherry pickers. But
that's the point. So to say that he's done better against Fury than the other opposition up until when he had a draw with Wilder, is really a sort of proof.
There's not much recommendation. Is what you're saying.
Well, I'm basically saying it shows that Fury's not an all-time great because he's been avoiding the top level opposition.
You can't.
I've just listed them, and there's more that you could put in the list as well.
It's very difficult to be an ATG and a cherry picker at the same time.
and so, whilst I am a fan of Francis, I'm not convinced he's going to suddenly tear his way through the top 10.
No, I'm not convinced he's going to tear his way through the top 10 because
I like him. I like the story. I like the way he applied himself. I like his attitude. And I'd like to see him fight again, to be honest.
Listen, it's a valid point. You can't gauge. You should listen. If Tyson Fury was really, I think another way of saying what you're saying is that if Tyson Fury was really an ATG, then having a close fight with him would really mean something. But because he's not really an ATG, having a close fight with him and maybe even beating him is not as big a thing as you might think, because he's a cherry-picking perceived ATG by some. That's what he is. He's a perceived ATG who's actually a cherry picker.
Yeah. And also, I think he is completely on the slide. I think the reason that he's been coming in heavy is because, I mean, I know you said there's other ways to get yourself fit.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's able to do, because, I mean, why is he not swimming?
That's a big one.
Why is he not on a bike? Why is he not doing these other things?
There's other things. That's a big one. Why is he not on the elliptical? Why is he not on the what's that thing called where you climb?
Yeah, I know the one that you mean.
Yeah.
It's like cross trainer. And
Yeah. I don't know what it's called. Yeah.
I think the elliptical is what it's called.
Sorry?
I think it is called the elliptical, isn't it?
Yeah, elliptical. So elliptical something. Yeah.
So I think there's something wrong. Maybe it's more than physical deterioration. Maybe he has never stopped treating his nose.
Could be neurological. Could be neurological things going on with the body.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's serious dysfunction in his legs. If you go back and you watch the third Wilder fight where he got hit a lot, he wasn't able to avoid Wilder's punches in the way that he was in the second fight. When he's shuffling forward, it is not very well coordinated at all. If you watch the Dillian fight, Dillian was horrific. I think it was more a question that Dillian was bad.
Horrible.
Than Fury was this amazing dominant champion. He caught him, he timed him really nicely.
That's a fair point, because we talk about we give leeway for Fury not looking.
There's always some reason, and it's always
he gets a pass, he gets leeway, he gets a leeway for that. But I don't remember anybody giving Dillian White leeway for not looking good. Nobody kind of said, "Oh, maybe he didn't look because of this factor, that." But no, it was just, hey, he got beat. Full stop. See you later. See you later.
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
well, let's take
the. Be an excuse for Fury, though. I don't know. It's strange.
Let's take the Franklin fight for AJ came up. Did AJ lose a round against Franklin?
Nope.
And yeah, he came under this barrage of criticism.
It's crazy.
If Fury had fought that, everybody would be talking about what a masterclass it was. If Fury had that same performance against Franklin, everybody would be talking about what a masterclass of boxing that was.
It's crazy.
And telling everybody else how intelligent they are because they can see how good Fury is.
It's crazy, yo. It's crazy.
And then against, what's the Nordic Nightmare called?
Oh, yeah. The Nordic Nightmare is calling that. Robert Helenius.
Who came in, he fought very differently to how he fought Wilder. Against Wilder, he went charging in, tried to steamroll Wilder and got caught.
Yeah.
Against Joshua, he tried to be tricky. He was trying to stay away. He was being awkward, which is actually how Helenius normally fights.
Yeah.
Normally is a tricky, awkward customer.
Yeah.
And AJ methodically broke him down and cleaned his clock. And it was supposed to be a stay busy fight. AJ hasn't got any belts. AJ isn't doing anything. If Fury had done that, which is pretty much what he did against Dillian, wasn't it? The 7th he beat Dillian?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And that's looking fantastic.
Yeah.
And then against Derek Chisora.
He should have been retired years ago.
Was Derek 40 when he fought him?
Derek Chisora. Let's have a look. Where is Derek? Derek, where are you, Derek? There he is. What's the age? 39 now, but that's African age. Could be. You got to give him a 5 year. You got to give him a 10-year margin on that one. So it could be 29 or 49. Anywhere in between that.
Cuban ages, is it? I don't think that. I don't know. Either way, Derek is well past his prime.
Yes, should have retired years.
And Fury was unloading on him at will.
He was wailing on him.
And Derek was still stopped on his feet.
Yeah. Couldn't get him out of there. Get him out of there.
And I've been hearing about Tyson being this big puncher based on knocking out 2 people with poor chins.
Yeah.
One of which had been knocked out previously. I mean, the other one's been knocked out in the amateurs.
Yeah.
Like properly knocked out in the amateurs, not the referee stopping because he's taking too much.
Put to sleep.
So for me, there's always narratives to explain what's going on.
There always seems to be an excuse when he's tired. Is there always a real plausible reason why Tyson didn't perform so well? Well, how about this? If you're an ATG, you're an alleged ATG, how the hell is it that you don't understand the value of a training camp? If you're supposed to be an alleged ATG alleged by some, then how the hell is it that you don't realize that, well, how the hell is it that you've taken, well, it shows that you viewed the guy as a cherry pick, that you only had your trainer over for 5 weeks, your proper trainer. I think you was getting some training with some other cats. What's that? What's Joseph Parker's trainer's name?
Andy Lee.
Yeah, Andy Lee. Andy Lee's around.
Yeah, well, Andy Lee's his cousin, isn't he? And he's
Andy Lee, well, cousin of sorts, or a 10th cousin down the line, whatever. So Andy Lee's in there, and so he's getting training alongside. But his proper trainer, he contracts him for 5 weeks. What is it? Some money business? Is it a money business? Is that why you didn't have Sugar Hill over for the full 12 weeks? Is it due to money? Because it was alluded to that you didn't have the best sparring partners available, and it was alluded to that might be because of some money issue. Is Tyson Fury a cheap boss?
Well, I think that's just damage control, Raph, because there's always all these reasons.
Well, no, I heard Eddie Hearn say that you didn't have the best. You didn't have the best training partners. So I think that's legitimate.
How does Eddie Hearn know that?
Well, I would imagine the same way that Serafina knew what was going on.
All right, okay. Well, whichever way it is, but I was just wanting to put out this is a reason that Tyson Fury often doesn't perform very well.
What is that reason?
He's not that good.
Oh, he's not as good as people reckon he is.
Yeah.
Well, when you know, I recommend everybody go back and watch the Ngannou fight again. Go back, get the biggest screen you can see. Well, no, get a nice big screen with a nice high definition and look at how. Just watch the fight again, and certain things will stand out. Certain things stood out to me. How much Ngannou did more than I thought he did. Look at the 10th round. Take the 10th round. Ngannou landed multiple combos. If you take a round and split it into 3-minute segments, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then you can help say, okay, 1 minute that happened. He won the first minute. He won the second minute. He won the third minute. And throughout that, I mean, for example, Ngannou may have won the first minute of the 10th round. He landed a very stiff combo, and I think he landed a very stiff combo in the second minute of the 10th round. In the last minute in the second and last portion of the 10th round, Tyson did land a lovely, clean, crisp jab, but they were sparse. They were relatively sparse throughout the fight. Look, Ngannou landed some hard, clean shots and combos even in the 10th round. I think we have difficulty processing. I think there was some difficulty that was experienced processing that fight because you had a novice winning rounds, and sometimes you didn't want to mark the round as a win for him because it seemed strange. I couldn't have been seeing that right, surely. This is a potential ATG against a guy having his first boxing fight. I don't think he had an amateur career. I don't think he fought in the amateurs. It's the first time he has had a competitive. It's the first time he's fought boxing. He sparred it for years, but it's the first time he's had a boxing fight. And I think there was some difficulty in processing that this guy, not a boxer, is beating an alleged ATG. It was very, very difficult, and I think that held people back from giving him certain rounds where he might have won. Tyson Fury's hocus pocus, higgery jiggery, throwing shots. Some people might think they land. You look at them on a big clean screen and you see that clearly were deflected. The punch stats were very, very well. Whatever the punch stats say, what I saw with my own two eyes is they were similar. They were landing similar amount of shots. Only Francis Ngannou was landing heavier. And so that is something we have to take into consideration. We're finishing up the show. Not staying here for a long time. 1 hour, 10 minutes. That's plenty. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, put some money in the chat. You've been slacking in that department. This thing don't run itself. But I'm going to set up a Patreon or something like that so you can make a little small monthly donations to from the congregation. But John Daly, is there anything else you want to say?
Well, only a quick one.
Yeah.
Well, I still don't really know what your thoughts were on Fabio.
Oh, Fabio Woody, we can talk about that. We can talk about the undercard a little bit. What do you say?
I mean, I don't think there's anything else to say about Tyson. I just don't think he's that good. He's got
I'm satisfied with that. I think we've chopped that up. Okay, if you want to wrap up what we're saying about Tyson Fury, then have your last word on Tyson Fury then, before we talk about Woodley.
Yeah, that's it. That is my last word. I think instead of trying to think of all these deep intellectual reasons as to why he underperformed, what about the obvious one that he's just not that good?
He's not that good in an era that he's not the best.
Yeah, it's that simple. But as for Fabio, I was really pleased that he got his payback on
Adeleye.
Yeah, Adeleye. Just because I cannot be doomed with someone who wants to go around trying to be a bad man when he's a professional sports person.
I think, that kind of I'm not pleased. Listen, if he wants to do a Larry Holmes on Larry Holmes on Bird, whatever his name was, something Bird. If he wants to punch him up in the press conference, well, okay. When it's both standing at the dais or the podium, whatever you call that. You remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if he wants to do that, then okay. I didn't appreciate that, but at least it's still one boxer on another boxer, and you can get your K back. There's going to be another press conference. You can steal back on him. Okay, that's one boxer v another boxer. But when you've got an entourage and somebody in your entourage is sneaking the actual other boxer, the actual paid professional, then that is something that simply cannot be accepted. Cannot be accepted because Wardley's focused on Adeleye, and then he's got his little guy, little golfer guy, come in and putting elbows on the guy. Oh my God! And he's focused. I know the sketch. I know the scene, and it's intolerable. It's unacceptable. And I'm glad that Adeleye got beat. Because you can't do that. And furthermore, I think it's deeper than that. I think that Adeleye knew that Wardley could very well beat him, and he wanted to use psychology to beat Wardley. Adeleye wanted to use psychology, intimidation, call it what you will, mental games to beat Wardley, because I think he had doubts. He had doubts of whether he could beat him naturally aspirated. And so I thought Wardley was going to beat him anyway. I don't tend to watch Adeleye. I haven't watched his last fights. So Adeleye looked decent. He can improve. He's going to improve. And good luck to him. But I'm glad that the good guy won this time. And the good guy in this situation was Wardley. Knocked out Adeleye in the 7th round, I believe. I'm watching it now. It's on TV now. So
I think Adelaye's hit his ceiling, and I think a large part of it is he can't take a punch.
Has he been knocked out before? Has he been
dropped? But he hasn't really fought anybody, and I think he has touched the canvas before.
I don't think he's touched the canvas before.
I'm not sure, but
I don't think
the reason I don't think he can't take a punch, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Is the legs.
What about him?
Well, what's the saying always go to, Raph?
Yeah, you reckon? I see his legs now. Oh dear.
You see a man with skinny legs.
Yeah. What's going on there then? He's all top heavy.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
I mean, look at Wilder's legs.
Yeah.
Anybody that's got stick thin legs, you've got to worry about their punch resistance.
I've never looked at his legs before. They don't match the upper body.
No.
That's weird. What the hell's that? So is he a bodybuilder then? For real? He must be a bodybuilder.
Well, I mean, some people
he must be a bodybuilder.
I don't really understand it, Raph.
He must be a bodybuilder because he's got a big upper body
Yeah, I mean, I've seen these sort of people in the gym.
Yeah, so
The
that's why
worst
he wants
case,
to be a bodybuilder.
the worst case I've ever seen is a guy who could do incline bench press with 140 kg for reps.
Yeah.
And when he came to the squat the same amount, he could barely stand up with it.
Mm.
He had the upper body of a comic book superhero and the legs of a 12-year-old girl.
Wow.
I don't know why they do it.
I've seen that before. It's quite crazy.
It happens, but not very often in the boxing ring.
Not very often in boxing. I know a guy who had bigger arms than he had legs.
That's ludicrous. Just like,
I'm being serious. He had
I believe it.
bigger than his legs. It was like something. It's crazy, man.
I can believe it, but it just baffles my mind what goes through their head. But that's why I think Adelaide's hit his ceiling.
Mad.
In that, I don't think he can hold a punch. I like Fabio. I'm not sure. I've heard some talk about people saying he can win a world title. I'm not sure about that yet. I'm not sure about that.
Maybe the IBO. Maybe.
I don't know how much better he can get because he's a novice, isn't he? I mean, he's a white collar boxer.
White collar boxer, isn't he?
Who's had no amateur schooling at all.
None.
He's obviously got natural attributes that are good.
Yeah.
He's got good power. He's got good reflexes. He's got good speed. And technique can get better if you put the work in. It depends.
Yeah, of course.
But I like him. I thought he did well. I thought he kept his head, which was the other thing that was going to get challenged in that fight. He could have lost it and tried to just go steaming in, but he didn't. I thought he controlled distance well.
Yeah.
And he got the knockout win. I was listening to your stream and I remember you were quite upset with the stoppage from the ref.
Yes.
Which I agree with, because if he was going to stop it like that, why didn't he just stop it when Adelaide got up?
Yeah. I mean, he was only going to take another couple of seconds, but that's not the point. He gave Adelaide the out. Oh, it's the ref jumped into it. Yeah, it was only 2 seconds. Well, exactly. So he gave him the out. I knew the ref gave him an out where he was going to say you stopped it too early, which he did by about 2 seconds, in my opinion. But why not let the 2 seconds happen and then why not get dropped and slumped again and then stop it? Well, anyway, I mean, the ref was compassionate, but sometimes it just don't look right.
If you're going to be that safety first, he didn't look very good once he got up anyway. Wave it off then.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So it was just 2 seconds more. The ref just had to be calm for 2 seconds and he'd been good. He just dropped him again. End of. No argument. No nothing. You know, some of these refs sometimes they just got to think. They just got to look outside. Act as if they're in the crowd and imagine what's going. Just 2 seconds more, it would have been conclusive rather than you stopping it where you stopped it and just made it look kind of, you ruined the aesthetic of it. You interfered with the aesthetic of the situation, the aesthetic of the knockout. I'm just looking at Adelaide's legs now, and it's crazy, yo. Yeah, they look smooth. They look smooth like baby legs. It's like
he's got those 12-year-old girls' legs like they've never done anything. They've never done anything, have they, in his life?
He just looks smooth like baby legs. I can't believe it.
I mean, Wilder's pretty much the same.
Well, no, Wilder's is wiry and stringy, and I can understand Wilder's. He just got crazy thin legs. I can understand it. I can understand him, but because he's wiry and sinewy, you know what I mean. But this guy,
he's got quite a substantial upper body wrap. I mean, he's another one that they don't match. I don't think they're as smooth as Adelaide's legs. They really are like
they're wiry. His legs are wiry and sinewy, but Adelaide's are smooth. So,
like my daughter plays a lot of netball.
Yeah,
and I've seen more impressive legs when I go to watch her play.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some girls in the gym the other day, and they were flexing there.
No, but these girls are 11, right?
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying I saw some. Well, these girls are 16, so it's not, only 4 years older.
And there's quite a bit of development that happens.
5 years, 5 years older, and they're in the gym, kind of, in them shorts, flexing. They're flexing to each other. One girl flexed the thigh muscles, the quads, and all that because they do their squats, and they're all sinew, and they're nice shape. And cut and defined, and they were just flexing with each other. They were having flexing competitions. They were just doing it between themselves. I saw them. It wasn't for anybody else. They were just look at this, boom. Would you look at this, boom? And yeah, it reminded me when when I was at school, the guys, the sprinters, they'd flex their legs. They say, look at this, look at the definition, here. And but there's some cats out there don't seem to be working their legs whatsoever. But you know what? We're wrapping it up now. We're wrapping it up. So we talked about Adelaya. Is there anything else on your mind before we close this thing down?
Final words are: if you see a man with skinny legs, hit him.
Yeah, hit him. Absolutely, legendarily and immortal words of the rdcr. So we've done it. Gave you a little bit more. Thought we'd be on for an hour, but gave you a little bit more. It's the Ask Rick Glaser. Well, it's Rick Glaser and Raphie go head-to-head over Tyson Fury and Ngannou. And we can wrap up. Well, I think we did what was advertised, and we gave you a little bit more. We gave you some more. I'm just looking at the analytics right now, and it's kind of funny because I dropped a video. What was it called? Where is it? There it is. I dropped a video. Tyson Fury illegal elbow on Ngannou. Was it deliberate? And I dropped that. Let's have a look. I dropped that on, what's the date of that? The 31st of October. And I think it's now, 31st of October? No, I didn't. When did I drop that? Was it yesterday? No, it's 2 days ago, wasn't it? No, it's yesterday. Yesterday? That wasn't yesterday. Was it? That's crazy, yo. Oh, it's been out for over 24 hours. I know that. I thought it was 2 days. Let me have a look. Hold on. I thought that had been up for 2 days. Hold on. What am I doing? Well, I'll pull my phone out. What's the point of that? Oh, yeah. I realize what I'm doing now. Hold on. Where is the calendar? Okay, so I dropped that yesterday. Just 1 day ago. Seems like 2 days ago. Why does 1 day seem like 2 days? What the hell's going on? What the hell is going on? Let's have a look. Let's get into the analytics of that. Let's get deep into it. Let's get deep. Let's go deep. Let's go deep into the analytics. Okay, so I dropped that on Monday, did I not? It must have been, okay, that's it. So it was Monday night, maybe just turned over into Tuesday. So that's Monday night, Tuesday morning. Okay, nothing. Literally a few views here, a few views there. Maybe scraped 100 views. And then, all of a sudden, when did it happen? Today at 2 a.m. starts to pick up. By 6 a.m. it picks up a lot. 7 a.m. picks up a lot more. 8 a.m. it increases. 9 a.m. it increases more. 10 a.m. UK, we got 200 views, built up to a crescendo. And then maintained views up in the 100 hour by the hour. And then, when is it? 9 p.m., 7 p.m., up to around 200 again, 200 views again for 8 a.m., 8 p.m. till 9. And we got almost 200 views again, 9 p.m. till 10. It's really nice because initially nothing was happening for the first 24 hours. And then this morning, it just picked up. Now we got what? What are we sitting on now? What are we working with now? Tyson Fury's illegal elbow. Sitting on 2,000 views. That's nice. 2,000, that's a nice figure. In the highest video I ever did was something like 70,000. Was that right? 70,000, 75,000. Oh, it's 2,500 actually. 2,500 right here. So it's nice and gratifying when you do a video and then seems like nothing's happening, and then boom, guess who stepped in the room? It starts to just blow up nicely. That is For those who haven't seen it, what's it called? Tyson Fury illegal elbow on Ngannou. Was it deliberate? Was it deliberate? OMG. Why is that thing stopped? Is this thing still going? Are there still people here? Are there still people here? Walking on air? Okay. Well, oh damn. I think we've done it. By Jove, I think we've done it. You have been in tune to. Uh-oh. Where's that? You have been in tune to Rick Glaser and Raphie go head to head over Tyson Fury versus Ngannou. And weekend wrap up. It's the wrap up and the wrap up. So, what's there left for me to say? Look out for the videos. Look out for the live shows. Go into the channel. To go into the channel, you're on your page. Just look where it says Raphael Dawkins Combat Radio. You hit that, and it will open up a world of joy and pain. Joy and pain, which, as you know, is like sunshine and the rain. Okay, what's there left to say? I think we've done it all. For sure. You heard Rick. Be back. We'll be back with Ask Rick on around 8:30 p.m. Monday coming. Hold on. It's the 5th. It's the 5th when they change, but we're gonna stay with it. I think 8:30 p.m. will be the start time. I think we're gonna stick with that. How you like that? So that's Monday, 8:30 p.m. UK time. That's like about 4:30 p.m. on Eastern time and around 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you covered it. Get back here next Monday for Ask Rick, and then on the Wednesday for Boxing Talk with Raphie. So you know you're getting something on Monday, and you know you're getting something on Wednesday. A little something. Okay. I don't think there's anything left for us to say other than blessed.